We're spending a bit of time this morning with a large elephant bull down in the southwestern grasslands. As we found him, he was resting underneath the marula tree. It looked as though he had been feeding on some of the marulas, and he's now come across to a big fallen over marula tree, which it looks like it might have even been pushed over by another elephant, or possibly even him a couple of days ago. He snapped off one of the big branches. He then started to feed on some of those little twigs and leaves there. But he's also looking for some of the marula fruit on the ground. Sure, as he's finished up here, he's going to then move along to some of the other marula trees in the area and probably feed on a few marulas from there. But just the vistas and the scene around here is stunning. The southwestern grasslands have provided some great sightings in the last few weeks. Robbie, thank you. Also great to see how dexterous he is with that trunk, sniffing through the grass trying to find those marulas, and he's not necessarily looking for the marula fruit, he's smelling for them. The elephants have probably got the best sense of smell out here, so in order to find some of the ripening fruit on the ground will be pretty easy for them. And these are a bit of a treat. They're not necessarily going to be the main part of his diet, although throughout the summer months when all the marula trees are fruiting, the elephants will definitely go around and grab a few of those and eat them. He looks fairly young, but big. He's got a very tall, lean body, nice thick tusks coming through there. Whilst we're sitting with this elephant, we've just heard that a cheetah has been found not too far from here. So we're going to get across there, see what the cheetah's up to for the morning. We've just arrived at the cheetah now. He's lying down in some long grass in the shade here underneath a little sickle bush. He looks pretty hungry, so there's a chance that he may get up and start moving. Every now and then he perks his head up looking around. The grass is pretty long around here, so being pretty vulnerable, he's often going to keep a lookout to see if there's any danger approaching him. Doesn't look like he's going to be getting up to all too much this morning, and we've got to start heading back towards camp. but always great to see a cheetah and to have it preluded by that large elephant bull eating all the marulas was great. Just heard from Robbie Ball that the Senegal Bush Male is approaching the airstrip. We seem to be on quite a hot streak the last few days of a lot of animals close to the airstrip and crossing the airstrip. So fingers crossed the Senegal Bush Male is going to walk straight across the airstrip for us this morning. Just had an incredible sighting of this male right in front of a whole herd of impala. He'd walked out to the northern end of the airstrip across the open grasslands there, and the impala obviously all saw him out in the open and were alarm calling, so it was epic. We had him in the foreground, the impala in the background. We know that there was tracks of a few different male leopards in this area this morning, none of which we were able to find, so that could possibly be the Flatrock male and the Maxim's male, and he must have cottoned onto their scent now because he's walking around and scent marking, calling a lot. So that's just him laying claim to this as his territory. If the Flatrock male or Maxim's male are still around, I'm sure they're going to then come back into this area and respond to his calls, because essentially at the end of the day all three of them are fighting it out for this territory here and trying to just claim it for their own. So I'm almost certain he can smell the scent of those other males that must have been cruising through here. We found their tracks a little bit further on, but I'm sure they must have started off somewhere here. You can hear some wildebeest alarm calling in the background. He walked straight past a herd of them there. But it's just amazing to watch him walking through, sort of right on the edge of the clearing here, through some of the guarri bushes there. His nose is stuck to the ground. He's following that scent, sniffing it out. The sense of smell of a leopard is phenomenal. And so he can tell that an intruder's been through this area. This is right on the fringes of his territory. And so he's now just trying to proclaim and protect it against these other males. So it's proven to be incredibly difficult following the Senegal Bush Male. His movements have been so erratic, moving through some of the very thick vegetation. So we looped up ahead to try and sort of preempt his movements, and he's done a runner on us and we cannot find him anywhere. So we'll wait a little bit longer, see if he pops out this side, but chances are looking pretty slim that we're going to re-find him. And because he's on the scent of those other males, every now and then he'll lose the scent, so that makes him go off in a different direction and then come back and find the scent again and follow that. So we're sitting pretty much where some of the tracks were from earlier and hoping that this actually brings him towards us. But chances are pretty slim, so if we don't have any luck here, we're probably going to start heading back towards camp